Hi, this is Peggy Bradshaw with VanDyk Mortgage. Here's my Realtor of the Week. I hope you enjoy it.
Well, I'm born and raised in Omaha, Nebraska, and I enjoyed living in Nebraska. I thought it was a great place to grow up, and the Cornhuskers, like we talked about, and it's just a good, wholesome place to live and grow up and learn. I guess you might say some of the ethics that I have as a handshake in Nebraska meant something. Your word is your bond. People come and go in your life, but you always have your name. So if you want to feel good about yourself, you treat people well. And that's how I was brought up in Nebraska. Well, we are, realty partners, and we're mainly out of Pinellas County, but we do a lot in Tampa as well, and Sarasota. Well, I'm what they call as a senior partner, so I have a group of, I think there's like 22 people now. I'm kind of a team leader for, I shouldn't say kind of, but we're all virtual, so I'm constantly answering the phone and answering questions, and I'm very much into being proactive. I don't want to have to be reactive because everybody gets frustrated, everybody gets lost. You need to know what the next step is. We need to know where, what to expect and what our options are going to be if we have an issue. I started, my mother was in real estate, and she didn't do a whole lot of real estate. She was busy raising my sister and I, and she was a single mother. But I remember how exciting it was for her to, make a deal and so on and so forth. But I was basically in the sign business. I was three generations in the sign company. So I always liked marketing and designing signs where, someone driving down the road at 45 miles an hour, the sign would, one, be able to read it, and two, be able to stop and, attract that passerby. So it was a very exciting business. And then I got into the insurance business. I owned a general agency insurance company, and that's what I did when I left Nebraska to come to Florida. It's funny, I came over here to start up a water business, a part-time water filtration business, but I was planning on getting my main thing into the insurance. But in Nebraska, you could knock on a door and the screen doors would be open and they would say, "Come on in," and you'd wipe your feet and walk in. Next thing you know, you're having a cup of coffee and talking about insurance. Here, the doors were bolted. No one wanted to talk to you. So I thought, no, that's not something that I want to be a part of. So then I got into the lending business, and that's why I was excited about you, and I'll share that in a moment. The lending business, so I owned my own lending company for 17 years, and then I thought, well, okay, let's do a title company. And being I had an insurance background, I went ahead and brought in an insurance guy, so we were a one-stop shop. So I enjoyed doing insurance for many, many, many years. And really liked it. I thought I was born to be a numbers guy. I didn't try to put people in my products. I tried to put them in the products that would best fit them. Kind of like I found out that you do as well. When someone asks me for help, I don't look at, okay, what am I going to get out of this? I learned a long time ago, if I focus on what their needs are, then it'll come. We'll all win situation, or I'll win, they'll win. So what I try to do is I focus on them, what they want. Most people don't know what they want, unfortunately. They don't teach us how to live in everyday life in school, and I wish they would. People can't even hardly balance their checkbooks, let alone figure out what the next step in the process is in buying a home. So I find it very rewarding to make sure that they understand the process. For instance, when we met, I had that listing, and we were to the day before closing, and we found out the lender couldn't close it. Or actually, they weren't quite sure if they could close it or not, if I remember right.
Yeah,
they were
didn't know.
Back and forth, didn't know what to do with it. And it was a good loan. We knew it was a good loan. And you called me on the phone, said that you could do the transaction in less than 2 weeks. And you ended up closing it in 11 days. So kudos to you. That was quite awesome.
Thank you.
And not saying that getting a deal and closing it in 11 days is something that you do every day.
Thank you.
But
I don't want to have to take heart medicine.
That's right. But it is nice to know. I could tell when I spoke with you right away, you knew, what it was going to take to get it done. Fortunately, I had I knew the questions to ask you because I didn't want to ask the seller to extend that transaction for another 11 days.
Sure,
It
yeah.
means they were already moved into a truck anyway, a moving truck. So it worked out real well, and I thank you.
Oh, well, you're welcome, and thank you for trusting me. Well, thank you so much again, Rick, for coming.
Thank you.
And I look forward again to be working with you in the future.
Super.